So you want to know some Florida-friendly tropicals that can survive Florida's colder months when it gets into winter. Well, I gotcha. Florida's USDA zones range from zones 8B, which is near the Panhandle, all the way to zones 11A, which would be near the Keys. Now, an important thing to note, when you're in zones like 8, it's going to range from temperatures dropping from 15 to 20, zones 9, 20 to 30, zones 10, 30 to 40, and lastly, zones 11, 40 to 50 at the most. And you're going to ask yourself, why is it important to plant the plants in the right places? Well, they'll get these little marks right here. This means that it is cold and it does not like its environment. But don't worry, because each of these plants can survive from zones 8 to 11 without facing any backlash. But there are some requirements for each plant that you're going to want to know. So make sure you stay tuned and watch all the way to the end so you don't miss out. And if you like this type of content, if you could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. But enough of that, let's jump right in. All right, you guys, so for the first one up, we have the Dune palm, and look at this stunner right here. Now, this is not actually a palm, it's a cycad, believe it or not, but we love using them in a landscape. He is used as one of the main accent pieces. Now, you could substitute this one with like a bird of paradise or maybe even a false agave, which we have over here. These guys go great with something colorful underneath, so we have like crotons for right here to add a little bit of contrast. Now, if you want some other type of contrast, these are a little bit sharper in structure. If you want something a little bit softer, we also love using the foxtail ferns, which we have right here. So if this was planted in the ground, a great alternative would be those foxtail ferns. Now, the trunks aren't that tall. That's why you can see it's elevated with this pot. Another reason is because this guy will grow to that 6 to 15 feet. The fronds will. The trunk will stay normally a little bit smaller, but the fronds will they'll take off. Another way to contain the growth is also to put it in a pot like this. But I just think it's one of those plants that you can have that just screams tropical. Like when you walk around a corner, your eyes are just drawn to this spot. And to also mention, these guys like full sun to partial shade. You can see that it gets that morning sun, so it's getting that partial shade in this environment right here. For the next on the list, number 2 on the list, we have Farfugium. And now this has that lily pad leaf, as you can see right here, but they are awesome in a garden. The only knock I would say is that they need a little bit of protection. That's why you can see they're under this guy right here. They can get burnt a little bit. You can see right here, he is getting burnt from that little bit of afternoon sun that he's getting. But these guys will get about 2 to 3 feet in width and only about 1 foot to 2 feet in height, really. But they just scream tropical. And you can mix them with things like Rojo Congos or ground orchids like you see right here, and they just have a perfect tropical mixture. Now, those ones are a little bit more cold sensitive, but the Farfugium, they can handle all the way down to zone 8. For number 3 on our list, we have the false agave. This guy is a stunner as well. We love to use him as another accent feature. They go really well below window lines. So if you're looking to landscape the front of your house and you have a window line, say like right here, put that right underneath that window line and it's not gonna have any blockage. You're gonna still be able to look through your dining room or your living room window. They pair very well with pretty much anything. You can see that we have the foxtail and the blue flame agaves down there. They pair wonderfully with foxtail ferns. If you are going to use these guys, remember that they are drought tolerant, so you want to pair them with other drought tolerant material. You can see we have other agaves, the foxtail ferns, the mammy crotons, but most importantly, we have it in a rock bed right here, which is going to help dry out that excess water. Also, another tip that you could have is to use a light feature right here, one of those rectangular box lights to shine up it. It looks stunning at night. For the next guy, we have the dwarf elephant ear, or dwarf alocasia as it's commonly known as well. Now, these guys are awesome. They work really well in moisture settings. You can see you can place him pretty much anywhere. He was placed in between these 2 rocks and he is just taken off right here. This guy commonly likes to be in zones 9 and above. I would say probably stay away from it in zone 8. That's the only caveat. Its growth pattern is about 2 to 4 feet and it does produce pups. So if you get just one of these guys, you will get a bunch more. Give it to a neighbor or put them in other areas of your garden. And last but certainly not least, we have the Queen Emma crinum lily. Now this normally usually has a nice white bloom on it, but this guy is such an eye catcher. And I know these Sanchizia are nice and trimmed up right now, but it usually has a nice border around it. you can see that she has a nice purple and green texture right here. If you have just the regular crinum lilies, they're typically just regularly green. The purple is what separates her. They can be multi-trunk. This one is a single though. And for the most part, you're gonna wanna cover the trunk lines. It's just not the prettiest. So when these Sanchizia aren't cut back, they're usually a good border to kind of hide her right there. Just to give her a little bit of a skirt planting. But she is awesome and she is cold tolerant. All right, you guys, that is it. If you found this video helpful and you would like to support the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to know how to design your own landscaping and making it tropical, I'll put a video up right here that shows exactly how to do that. Thanks again for watching and take care.